again.
Playing footy with the boys, taking a mark, playing footy with the boys, having a laugh, playing footy with the boys, getting on the sauce, playing footy with the boys till it gets dark.
Did he touch you at all?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to be here. We are 2 weeks into the AFL season, and round 2 has sat atop the grassy knolls and yeeted a bullet into the cranium of Joel's fantasy team. Ladies and gentlemen, it's barely touched him. Episode 6. I am here with the gypsy Jonathan Platt and Corey Daffin.
Hello.
And the world's tallest jockey, Joel Burnich. How are you, mate?
G'day, gorgeous.
Yes, I am indeed. Round recap is after the news.
Just quickly,
Yes.
a shout out and a thanks to Dennis Cometti, the band,
Of course.
for our lovely intro song.
We love them very much. And also shout out to the people who have reached out to us. Shout out to Monty for last episode. He did a ripper job.
did
And
do
shout
well.
out to Joel braving his way through the Zoom call last week. It was a bit tough, but he's back now. He's back with the boys here in Perth. Joel, you've got some footy news for us if you want to go through the Sandra Sully news headlines.
Yeah, I've got a couple of things. So Ashcroft has won the round 2 Rising Star.
Yep, well deserved. Well deserved. Yeah,
Yep.
he was ripper. I mean, you can't give it to Sheasel again. So
He was
yep.
good too,
I'd like
though.
to.
Yeah, I'd absolutely love to.
And then just a couple of suspensions. So Nathan Broad, sling tackle.
We'll get into this sling
He
tackle.
did get 4 weeks.
In Adopt Your Boy. They tried to appeal at the Tigers, but he's absolutely poleaxed my beautiful boy Patrick Parnell.
Patrick Parnell. He's just a little
And
fella as
I've
well.
got some things to say about it, so stay
sure you
tuned,
do,
ladies and
yeah.
gentlemen, for Adopt Your Boy. I'm going in on him. I'm not happy. Who else was suspended?
Ballard got offered a week,
Yeah,
but
for the
they are
little-
fighting it.
They are going to
For the little chin tickler. Yeah, look, borderline.
I think there was a couple of chin ticklers that
Yeah,
went
well,
through.
Simpson got
Simpkin
2
did a chin
weeks.
tickler.
Yeah.
He got 2. They accepted it.
Yeah, it's dog shit for my fantasy team. He's never been that sort of player. Is that his first time getting suspended, Simpkin?
I believe so.
Yeah, he's never really that sort of bloke to go in with a little jumpery, a little
Yeah.
clipper. Yeah, we shall see.
And Ryan Burton got a week as well.
What did he do?
Ryan, what?
Not a whole.
Who's Ryan Burton again?
the Port Adelaide player?
Oh, that's why I don't know him.
think it was a bump.
I tend to forget Port Adelaide defenders.
I don't remember a report happening in that game.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it could have been off ball. A match review panel
was a
seeing
bump.
afterwards.
To be fair, I was very excited during that.
Well, look, what an exciting game it was. What an exciting game it was. Is there anything else going on in footy news, or is it just the suspensions, really, that we need to cover?
Nothing else that we can't go through in other segments.
Yeah, of course. Well, either way, we're going to get straight into the round recap. Round 2 has come and gone, and boy, howdy, some things happened. Carlton
They certainly did.
beat Geelong 90-82. Jezza God mode is the note I have for that.
Yeah,
He was incredible.
He got 5, didn't he? And
He got
I think-
6. He got
and
6.
4 of those were in the last quarter,
3 were.
I believe.
It was look, credit to Carlton for winning, but all I think about in that game when I
He
remember
did everything
it is
he
Jez.
could.
Yeah,
Everything he possibly could to try and save that team.
he was running back into defence.
He was taking intercept
He was
marks.
going into the midfield.
He clearly had a maybe not injury, but there was something going on with his groin.
He got a shiner as well. He got one. He
The
had his
whole
head
last
strapped.
quarter, he was getting up very gingerly and holding his groin
But-
a lot, but he just kept trucking.
Credit to Carlton for still pulling out the win.
But how good are Carlton? It's just so hard to get a read on these teams.
Yeah,
They've knocked
it
over
is.
I am
Geelong.
sold on them. I think they're going to be
Yep.
pushing top 4. I think
think pushing
Carlton are
top
going to
four?
be that sort of team.
I think so.
But I think, you could say that of a lot of teams right now. You
Yeah.
could say that
It's hard to.
of
It is very hard.
really
to pick.
about 7 teams, they could be pushing top 4. Where do
think
we reckon on
definitely
Carlton?
Top 8, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cos-
top 8 I'd go for.
Yeah.
Tentatively. It's very hard to read.
Yeah, look, we don't want to be
Early
it's,
days,
It's
early
it is
days.
early days. It's so easy to go the early crow
getting
in round 2.
very excited.
It is. It's very exciting times.
The Dockers are fucked at
Yeah.
0 and
Well, they are. They
2.
could be
They are
fucked.
fucked.
Let's be honest.
Sydney's going to win at 2 and 0.
Next
Come-
up,
come
we
on.
had Brisbane beat Melbourne 93-82. The lights went out at the Gabba.
Now, this was very interesting because the lights came back on and Melbourne legitimately almost
Yeah,
won.
I was calling it.
Five
I
goals.
put a live bet on. I was in the chat with you boys, going, "I'm fucking doing it. I'm
was-
absolutely doing it."
it
I
was
did it.
wild.
I did it at 3/4 time because I just felt like Clayton Oliver was going to pull him over the line, and he nearly
Now,
fucking
you would
did.
you would think after that much of a break in the game, there would almost be a gentleman's handshake in the rooms to kind of say, "All right, let's not do ourselves any
In
injuries."
1960, perhaps. Not now. Not
They
now.
kicked 5 goals to none in
Yeah.
that last little
They,
patch.
they were getting slapped.
I thought they were going to do it.
They were getting
When
slapped and
there
they
was
came
like
back.
3 minutes left on the clock and they'd kicked 3 in 3, and they'd pegged it down to within a couple of kicks, I went, Brisbane look shot. They're done. Everyone was cramping up. Every single person on the field looked completely
well, yeah,
fucked.
everyone
Yeah.
did that was playing for Brisbane, but
Yeah.
Melbourne on the other
when you
hand.
have a cool down like that, it's no good. And
Yeah.
apparently, after the game, Fagan was complaining that they were being told to stay in the rooms, and Melbourne had 8 more minutes out on the ground
look.
to warm back up.
At the end of the day, they've got the 4 points. Like,
So
it
are we
was
blaming
shit
a
show.
Melbourne
They did
supporter
win.
for the
Well,
arson?
let's blame the state of Queensland for
Yeah.
not sorting out the power
Yeah.
grid to their
It's not the first time it's happened. It happened in the cricket there
At the Gabba.
a couple of times, I believe.
really.
And it happened in another sport as well. And this is the state and the stadium that it's supposedly going to be holding
I've-
the Olympics soon.
I
so-
mean, this is a non-footy point, but if there is a God, he did not want humans to live in Queensland. It's
too humid.
everything
What
is
are you doing?
against you.
electricity doesn't work in that environment. It's
You're
too
going to get
humid,
flooded. You're going to get fires on your property or killed by a cassowary. Next up.
or a crocodile.
Oh, Gorn got injured as well. Gorn got injured, which is 4 weeks, 6 weeks. So it could have been worse.
The
but
shot
yeah.
of him in the change rooms was.
He was so deflated.
It almost made me cry.
It's a big old meme now.
He was
It's-
just sitting there staring into nothingness.
He's just a lovable bloke,
And
isn't he?
they kept cutting back to the
yeah.
shot minutes later, and he was in the same position, just staring at nothing.
It's very Charlie Brown
And,
sad
like,
moment.
At the time, I thought it was very funny, but afterwards, they kind of interviewed him, and he said that he was worrying that his
Yeah, because he's
his
already
career
done his
was
knee.
over. Yeah.
He's already done his knee twice.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So
for him,
it being-
he's 31. It
turned
could be
out
the
to
end of his
be
career.
a minor meniscus tear or something, which is
That's
nothing.
fine.
Yeah, it's
That's fine.
nothing. So good
Prayers
on
up,
him.
Maxi.
Good on
Prayers
him.
up to
but it
him.
showed
Love
it
you
getting
very
Grundy
much.
was such a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, who was their
that's looking
ruckman if
like-
they
yeah.
didn't have Grundy? Was it going to be McDonald going in there? Was it going to be fucking... It's grim times. Next up, and holy dooly, Collingwood beat Port Adelaide 135 to
my
64.
God.
I look, I'm just going to say it. It could be on. Flag pies is happening. Discuss.
Mate, it was phenomenal. Just an absolute clinic.
It was...
An absolute clinic.
It was really as good as football gets,
looks-
wasn't it?
You could you could see the smiles on the faces of the players as they were just pulling off highlight reel worthy stuff after highlight reel worthy stuff.
It was everyone on the ground.
They were
wasn't
just
it?
having
It was
the-
everyone.
They were just
yeah.
having the greatest time of their lives.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. 14 individual goal scorers, which
Yep.
is just...
And it was like
out there.
we're doing our MVP voting and trying to pick the best player in that game. It's tough. I mean, I've got one, but it is tough.
I also
It is
have
very,
one,
very
yeah.
tough.
Yeah, so it was a slapping in the end by 135 to 64.
71 points.
It really looked like it was going to be 100 plus.
Yeah.
to be
Oh,
fair.
they took their foot off the gas,
It
but they were
was-
still scoring in the in the last
out
in the
there.
second half. Ken Hinkley tried to go the coaching masterclass of putting a tag on Nick Dacos with Lockie Jones.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to do better, Ken. I think he said before the game.
Yeah, no.
He's Nick Dacos. He's a halfback flanker. He actually has to play on a half forward, So maybe we're gonna make him do that.
Yeah.
How did that go for you, Ken?
So-
How did that go?
I was at a Bucks party while this game was playing, so I was
Yes.
very excited, and didn't really have my footy brain on, but I was interested. How did Frampton shape up?
He had a couple of howlers early.
Okay, good. Good.
He looks to be a very old school 80s tall defender
Yep.
to me. He doesn't have the pace, He's
Yeah.
been caught out by just being completely wrong position.
Yeah.
Not really chasing as much as he could have.
But he slotted
But-
in okay.
He did his job in the second half and towards the latter end of the second quarter.
Yep.
He came good. He came good in the end.
That
He was
gonna
fine.
Be the
He was
biggest
fine.
worry with how our boy Jeremy Howe
Yes.
out Frampton in. How does he shape up? Not bad.
It was fine. He was definitely, I don't want to say a weak link because I'm happy with how he did. But
Yeah.
if you're going to
He'll grow.
isolate a matchup with a tall forward, you'd want him playing on Frampton if you were playing us.
Yep.
But the back six is a cohesive unit. It's not just going to come down to one bloke.
Love it.
Next up, we had Richmond beat Adelaide 108-76. I've got the cream rises to the top in
108 to
this one. It was
76.
a big one. I thought the Crom had some good patches.
Had some good patches. They scored 51-7 after half time.
Yeah.
See, wow.
Bolter, I thought was quite good. I'm not going to give him votes in the MVP, but I wanted
You're a big
to.
backer of the Crom this
I'm
year.
a big backer of the Crom, but when they're playing badly, it looks very
Well,
bad.
here was a problem because the Tigers scored 47 points from intercepts.
Yeah, that was it. As soon as the
47
counter-attack was
from
on,
intercepts.
it's the correct stat to highlight. As soon as the counter-attack was on, they were out of position, their mids weren't getting back, and their back line, as a result, was
whiz.
having
to chase
And
tail
that was
all
at
day.
half time,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah,
that
it
was
was-
45 points at half time.
Led was
scored.
immense. Led was so good as he's always going to be when he's on.
Well, are the
but
umpires going to notice him this year?
I fucking hope so. Like, because
probably
I
not.
would have given him a vote or two in that
Yeah.
game. Yeah,
Plays-
definitely,
plays for
definitely.
the wrong team.
Next up, we're going to get more into this in Is Joel Okay? But St Kilda beat the Doggies 92-41.
Absolute
My
drubbing, wasn't
goodness
it?
gracious me.
The poor old doggies are not looking too crash out, are they?
They're not. They're really
Look,
not.
It was
That's a
pretty
shame.
special. I finished up at Knotfest,
Hmm.
and as I walked out, I thought I couldn't get any happier.
And then you saw the score.
And then I saw the score, and I thought, holy shit, I can.
Yeah, and then
Like, it was amazing. And honestly, you look at it, it was all about effort. And the way the Ross coaches is you train hard
It is a new Ross, isn't it?
and you play the game out and you'll get picked. And you'll play.
absolutely.
And we talked about this last week as well. We theorised how Ross was going to go with his obviously very predictable coaching style.
He's
that he had
changed
for
it
many
up.
years,
He's changed it up.
and he has kept aspects of it.
Yeah.
But he has advanced it, and credit
Yeah.
to him.
Well, the thing
Credit to
was,
him.
Bulldogs 5 goals for the game.
Yeah, you're not going to win
And
games
4 of
footy.
those came in a 12-minute patch in the second.
Yep.
So you look at that, regardless of that 12-minute patch, we kicked 14 goals to 1.
But then you also react to that. Like that's the coaching staff
Yeah.
going, here's the problem, here's where we're getting burned. Let's shut them off, and they did.
Yeah.
And they absolutely did after that. Like it's credit to them. The Saints are on, and
amount of players we
we
have
will
out
check
as well.
if Joel is okay later on in our flagship segment. Spoiler alert. He's got an erection. Next up, North beat Freo 73-72.
Wowee.
LDU, Clarko,
Jesus.
Sheasel,
Luke Jackson.
Luke Jackson doing sweet Fanny Adams.
Siren
Deliberate
dramas.
gate, yeah. Look, what do we think about the end of the game? What do we think about the
It's
deliberate?
as it should have been?
I think they
Yeah,
got it right.
Yeah, they got it right. I mean, looking back at it on the different angles, and people have synced up audio because the umpires hear the sirens through their earpieces before you do on the TV.
Yeah.
like by a second or so. It's in by a couple of minutes.
I think that I watched 360 this morning. Shout out to Robbo and Jared. Watched it this morning, and they provided the vision with the audio track of just what the umpires were hearing.
Yeah.
And as the siren went, according to this vision, the ball was literally on the line.
Oh wow.
And it would have been an inch of the ball in, but that is still in play.
it's in, yeah.
If the siren goes, if that vision that they showed was accurate, the umps made the correct call.
Yeah.
And what a call, like, because that's pressure. And they all
Yeah.
came together and said, this is it, this is what we're doing, game's over. Like, it's fair play to them. I think it was well handled there at the end.
And to be fair, I mean, they should have won it before then,
Yeah.
shouldn't they?
Oh, North deserved to win that game. Freo, look, it's not good.
No, it's not good
It's
at all.
not good at all.
Really, really not good. They just holding the ball for too long.
Yep.
expecting
The
that
midfield isn't working. It's as simple as
they're-
that.
The forward line isn't working.
they're expecting
nothing's
they're
working, no.
expecting they're going to be able to kick it to someone up there, and there's no one there.
The thing is, they've got a great back line, but that seems to be it at the moment.
The back line is fucking incredible.
It's incredible. They've got they arguably got the best back line in the
But
competition.
do you remember what I said at the start of the year when I said they made more changes than anyone to their list?
Yep.
And this is how important that is. The players have no cohesion.
There's no chemistry.
so much change in that team.
You're spot on there.
And that's the problem.
Jackson's done absolutely nothing to this point.
Well, he has. He's taken
Because-
up a fair bit of the salary cap.
Because of the cohesion issue, and also because he keeps getting played out of fucking position.
Yeah. Well, what would you want him in the ruck?
No, I want him to be. I want him to be floating. For they keep
he's
putting,
affecting Darcy.
They keep putting Darcy in forward and Jackson in the mid. What are they doing?
Yeah, like I think Jackson's a hybrid forward ruck. Like that's what he needs. Like
Yeah.
I think if you want to slot Jackson into your team, have him learn how to be Tom Hawkins.
Yep.
That's what you.
But he's
that's,
not. That's
he's
the
not.
problem.
He's not yet. He's not yet. So if you get his goal kicking accuracy up, get him a sense for the goals, he's got the talent to do that. I think.
Of course,
he's.
this is the thing, and the West Australian media is going berserk, dragging Luke Jackson right now.
Yeah, it's not his
It's
fault.
not his fault. It's the club's
He's-
fault. Should never recruit him.
They are not getting the maximum that they can get out of the combination of Darcy and Jackson.
No, absolutely
even,
not.
Not even
Absolutely not.
close.
If he was
Not
going to
even
come
close.
home, he should have gone to the Eagles.
Well,
Realistically,
I think
for
the
his
egg
own
was
game.
I think the egg was going to go for Tim English. That's what's going to happen at the end of this year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I
with
think
all-
that's the correct call
Yeah.
for them
Well,
to do that.
Yeah.
If you would rather have a shit year and you get told you get Tim English at the end of it, I would rather that. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Sydney beat the Hawks 118-37. Expected. Absolutely expected.
Well, I was at the game, and really it should have been
It
more
looked
because
like it was going to be more.
the
Yeah.
Hawks, in the end, I think they got 3 goals in the last quarter. But realistically, like Sydney took their foot off the pedal, and it was
Yep.
just one-way traffic. It looked like a bunch of kids
Yeah,
playing.
interesting to see with Buddy out, Amadi having a field day.
Well, he kicked 4, McDonald
Yeah.
kicked 5.
He looks
Yeah.
to be a bit of a specimen, doesn't he?
Amadi
He's
or-
Amadi. Yeah. No,
yeah, but
he was.
McDonald kicked 5. Are we just like?
Yeah, Logan McDonald.
Yeah.
Shout out. He's.
So what would you do if you were the Swans
What do you mean with Buddy and Logan?
with Buddy in general? How are you playing Buddy?
Yeah, you play Buddy. You
I
have to
think
play
you
Buddy.
would,
But the
and
risk
just
is if you
make-
play Buddy,
well, you can just
one of
make-
those
you
two
can make
players
room.
will get picked up
I-
eventually.
You can make room for the other two.
I think I would play 3 tools.
Yeah.
I think I would take Hayward out and then go Amadi, Buddy,
Yeah.
Logan. That's
That
what I
seems-
would
that
do.
seems
What, play one
logical.
of them in the ruck as well?
No,
Amadi?
just drop Hayward.
That seems logical.
Just drop Hayward. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
But then that's what I'm saying. You risk losing
Yeah,
Hayward.
Yeah, no, and you
I
know
would.
what? I'd be happy to
I
lose
would,
Hayward.
yeah,
I'd be
yeah,
happy to lose Hayward. Shouts out, he's fine, but you know, like I just want a Marty over him. Next up, well, the last game of the round, Eagles beat the Giants 100-81.
They're back.
Are they back, or are these two teams just shit?
No, both the teams are quite
I
bad.
think they're quite shit, both of them.
GWS hasn't strung together. I mean, it's only round 2, but they haven't strung together a full game yet.
Yeah,
They
Toby Green. Without them, it would have been like
they
60
look
points.
incredibly strong. GWS, that is,
They're a young team.
but for very small periods of the game.
Yeah, and I thought
it's the same thing happened.
I thought
yesterday.
Eagles got. It felt like GWS were. It was just a shit game of footy, honestly. Like, it was.
It wasn't great.
Eagles did some good things towards the end of the game. They started to turn it on a bit with their ball movement, but it's really. I don't expect. I think both of these teams
Yeah.
will be in the bottom 4.
There
I
there
think, yeah.
was some very slick ball movement by the Eagles, but it was
well, Tim
one-
Kelly's best game in a while.
It
Yeah,
was Tim
it
Kelly's
was,
best
yeah.
game in a while.
Lot of
Draft
clearances.
masterclass for me in fantasy to get
a lot
in.
of clearances. But yeah, there was like one slick play in amongst 6 in a row
Of shockers.
of
Shockers.
absolute stinkers.
Also, who won in our fantasy matchup this week, Joel, between you and I? Who won that?
Yeah, look, you
think
had
that
a
was-
week,
That
yeah.
would be me. That would be
It
me.
was a
Just wanted to
slap
chime that
job
in
But
there.
I will
wasn't
just
it?
chuck in as well,
Slapped
guys.
him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely bent him over. Next up, we've got our.
No. We forgot a game.
What game did I forget?
Bombers Suns.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
So I'll take this one for a bit.
I did for, always.
108
Essington beat Gold Coast 108-80.
Yep.
Yeah. Will Setterfield, shout out. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah,
He's
Well,
now
28 touches, 10 inside 50s, 11 score involved.
Yeah, it looks like he's
He's a,
developing.
Langford,
he's a
kick
gun.
five.
He's now their number one midfielder.
Yep.
What about Mr. Coleman, Langford? They're all talking about.
Yeah, Kyle Langford. Look, if he does it again, like if
Kyle
he kicks
Coleman.
3 next week, then I'll be on the bandwagon. I'll be
Yeah.
on
It's
the
only
bandwagon.
round 2. It's only
But
round 2.
And
Suns-
Stringer's in the 2, so
Suns
he's
have
due
got
to
some
come back.
problems, and it hurts me to say it because I really wanted them to. I've been very bullish on them for like 3 years now, thinking
I'm still tipping.
this is the year they're going to be good. No, not last year. This is the year that they're going to be good. No, not that year. This is the year,
They've got
and
the
they've now lost
blueprints.
0-2.
Well, how good are the Bombers as well? We just can't get a read on that yet.
I can't get a read on
No
it. I
doubt.
can't give an indication of
fall
how
over.
good they are.
They'll fall over.
They will. Gun to my head, they missed the 8. They
Oh,
missed the
yeah.
8. Yeah.
Yeah, I would pick Gold Coast to get to the 8 before I'd pick Essington.
It's still
Even
it's
at
tough
this-
from 0-2.
even at this point.
It's tough. So now we go on to the BTH MVP voting, and just to give you a little indication, this is now a 4-way voting panel, but our 4th member is not here. It is Monty, but he sent us in. Out of the goodness of his heart, his votes early. You give your top 5 players at the end of the round. Can be from any team. You can. It's just 5 votes for the best player, 1 vote down to the bottom, etc. He's gone 1 vote Tim Kelly, 2 votes Josh Dacos,
Yep.
3 votes Jezza Cameron, 4 votes Nick Dacos,
Wow.
and 5 votes LDU.
Wow.
So LDU and Jordan DeGoey were leading at the end of last round. So
Quite similar
Jolie,
to
if you want to
mine.
go your top 5 first, and then
Yeah.
we'll work towards
Bang
me.
through 'em.
All right, so number 1, I've got Oliver. That picked
Is this-
for
this
1
one
vote.
Is this
vote?
1
Yeah.
vote?
Yeah, 1
Yeah,
vote,
yeah,
Oliver.
yeah, yeah.
Look, you saw his game, 37
Yeah,
touches.
very
He was
Very
immense,
good.
yes.
700 metres gained.
Yeah, you love that.
They got close because of him.
And 9 tackles in the guts. Like, let's
Yep.
be honest, like, he's putting the pressure on. At 2 votes, I've got Nick Dacos.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay.
2 goals,
quite low,
32
I would
touches.
think.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have had him higher, but go on.
Yeah, look, Jack Steele.
Yeah, played
He-
with a broken collarbone.
He played with a broken collarbone.
Yeah.
So 29
Yeah, it was
touches.
very interesting that they said they knew he was obviously injured. And they were saying, oh, he might have a hairline fracture or something.
No, it was a
and
clean
then
snap.
the X-ray came out after
And
the
it
game,
was
and
broken.
It's fucked.
Yeah.
It's so fucked.
Credit to Jack Steele.
And he just kept playing.
Yeah,
You're
he's a
what
machine.
He's a
an
tough
absolute-
bastard.
he is a machine.
But he's done that before. Like last year, he had an injury, played out the game.
Well, he's broken that collarbone before.
That was what the game was
Yeah,
last
yeah,
year
yeah.
as well, and played it out. I don't
He's
know if he
fucked.
feels pain because is he one of those people that like
Mate, I've cracked my collarbone before. It's
I've
not- it doesn't-
dislocated it.
doesn't
It
feel
sucks.
great.
It doesn't feel great
It
at all.
doesn't feel
It's
So
great
do
at
you
bad.
think he's one of those people that they've got to be like careful because they don't feel pain?
Yeah, maybe he's an idiot. Maybe he's
Maybe
just
he could be an
maybe
idiot.
he's
He's not
an
an idiot.
absolute brickhead.
4 votes, Joel?
Jezza Cameron,
Yep.
Okay.
6 goals, 25 touches.
Yeah,
He
very
was
good.
just insane. And 5 votes, LDU.
Yeah, look, absolutely fair.
11 clearances, 30 touches. You know, went at 83%, which Corey loves the percentage.
Yes.
I do love the percentage.
It's Nulla.
We've got a dog going off in the
Yes,
background. That's okay.
she agrees with the LDU
I'll
pick.
run-
Corey,
I'll run through mine.
starting at 1 vote.
1 vote, Josh Dacos.
Yeah, okay. Yep, I like it.
I love the style. I love the cohesion that he had with everyone around him.
He's
Incredible.
a beautiful kick of the football.
very,
He's
very
a beautiful
lovely.
kick.
2 votes, Jezza Cameron.
Okay, yeah.
Carried his team to an almost comeback.
Yep.
3 votes, Patrick Cripps.
Oh, yeah, okay. He did play a blinder.
He
Yep.
did play very well, and he wasn't as good in round 1, but
Yep.
he's kind of come back and shown he can
Yep.
put that big body
He
over
helped
the
him
ball.
over the line.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
and
did.
there's not many players left that play that old style of putting your body over the ball and just get the fuck out of my way. And
Yes.
you love to see it when it happens. 4 votes, the Cheezel.
Yeah, Harry Shees, yes.
The Cheezel, just incredible,
Yes.
especially for a youngster. Absolutely
Composed in the back line.
incredible.
Really, really
Very,
composed.
very composed.
Does he
stuff.
win the Rising Star?
Absolutely,
you would
yeah.
have to think
I
so.
would not bet against him.
You would have
not
to
bet
think
Because
against
I've
him.
got money on him at the moment.
Surely,
Yeah.
surely.
Well, I
surely.
think that's going to come through. That
Yeah.
bet is going to
Yeah.
come through.
Yeah.
And 5 votes for Nicky Dacos.
Yep.
immense.
He's now Brownlow favourite.
Absolutely
It was
immense.
pretty
He's
good.
Brownlow favourite now,
Just-
guys.
All right.
Some of the plays.
I've
that
got
he
a
put on
couple
were just
that you
laughable.
boys. I've got a couple that you boys haven't said.
Yep.
In mine, for one vote, I've gone Jermaine Jones for the Eagles.
I don't mind that.
27 disposals, 11 inside 50s, 776 metres gained, and
Yeah.
9 score involvements. He's just making things happen when no one else in the Eagles' back line is running and carrying.
It kind of snuck up on me sometime in the third quarter how much of a good game he was playing. It was like, holy shit, this guy's killing it.
Without him taking the game on off half back,
Yeah.
that Eagles back line is in much worse shape than it is. And I think he was crucial to them actually winning that game and getting over the line. He's a good player, and shouts out to him. Like, he's playing in a shit team, he's really trying to make things happen and get his teammates involved. 1 vote, Jermaine Jones. 2 votes, Errol Goulden.
Yeah.
Errol Goulden for the Swannies.
I forgot about old Errol.
28 disposals, 7 marks, 7 score involvements. He was everywhere. He's exploded
much in
this
it.
year. He's been taking his game to another level with this Swans outfit. Like, you'd think Callum Mills is the best player in that team. Errol Goulden is now on that level of Callum Mills if he keeps this up.
Yeah.
If he keeps this up. 3 votes, LDU, Luke Davies-Uniacke, for the reasons you boys have said.
Very good.
4 votes, Jezza Cameron. And 5 votes, it's got to be Nick Dacos.
Nicky
It has to be Nick Dacos. And I think that takes him to the top of our tally.
Slickest player of the round.
He's just-
not even close.
The things he's doing, like, if he keeps this up, he will win the Brownlow.
Well,
and
he's
it's
now
not going to be
$10.
close.
He's the favourite with Clayton Oliver for the Brownlow.
I think he's going to win this.
I might get on that.
Yeah, get on it. Get on it. Like, I can't see, unless he gets a really, really good half-forward tag on him, he's going to get that 25 and a
Which
goal.
has happened before.
But he's broken tags before.
Yeah.
He's also not
Well,
breaking
they tried
tags
to
before.
tag him this week with Lockie Jones. That was the goal. Like, they tried to make him accountable and tag him a little bit at the stoppages.
But it's like we spoke
And then
about.
they just gave up because he was too
We
good.
spoke about this last week with will he get tagged or not? And
But he's
the-
running
the thing-
everywhere. That's where it makes it hard.
Exactly. And the
Yeah.
thing is, the pies are so deep that if you do tag him, you're just
Someone else is gonna go off.
You're just opening up the team.
But also his game sense is so good that he's going to find the space. Like, he's going to find the space and
when,
get the
when
ball.
when you've got his brother and Pendlebury and Sidebottom right there,
And Degoe.
the way
Like,
that they work together, a tag is not going to do anything.
Yeah, it's really not. Either way, so I think we'll have a look at what the tally's like and update you next episode. But that, I think it'll be LDU and Nicky at the top. Nick will be first,
100%.
LDU will be second.
Just off the top of my head,
For the
100%.
BTH MVP award. Next up, we've got the flagship segment of the Barely Touched Him podcast. It is Adopt Your Boy. And Corey, I think he's queuing up the theme music. Is it going? I don't have headphones. Is it going?
It is going.
Fantastic. I'm sure it sounds great. Boys, I'm looking for a good time. We've adopted some boys. Let's start with Joel, because your boy played VFL footy this week.
Yeah, so this was after, obviously, I saw him last week. Gave him a bit of a...
You met him?
You know, yeah.
Yes.
Well, look, I went down to the club and had a chat with him.
Yes.
And I think that's what made a difference in this game.
You've G'd him up.
I really have. So the Collingwood VFL team defeated Coburg by 92 points.
Yeah, it was big. It was very
Loved
big.
them.
I happened to... I didn't watch that game, but I happened to see that Finn McRae got best on ground for
Yeah,
that.
30 posies and a goal. He was big.
So he had a goal, 22 touches, 4 marks, 6 inside 50s.
Very good. Very good.
That forward midfielder hybrid. He is trying to crack into the Collingwood team, and at the moment,
tough
that's
team.
It's
Cracking.
how
Well, that
are you
position
going to
is
do
tough.
that? Yeah, it's huge.
well. That's the thing.
huge.
It's that position of forward mid.
We've got
Fuck.
literally 12 of them.
Yeah.
it's so hard, but it's a good stat line.
Yeah, and we've
It's
got
a-
another
it's a
note on
very
this
good
as
stat
well.
line.
It's very good.
So the Owens and Murray league that he played in before at Wangaratta, they just got docked their 2022 premiership.
Yeah, for salary cap issues, wasn't it?
Yeah, so they went 28k over the 125,000.
So
Yeah.
do you know? I'm putting you on the spot here. If you don't know, it's fine. But did they have any like big stars? They were ex-AFL boys.
Well, they
were
had
getting
Ben
in.
Reid.
Okay.
So he was a player coach.
Ben
So how much were they
Reid,
charging? Like paying
What
him?
bags of cash did you take under the table, Ben Reid?
Well, if it's under the table, then it's not on
Well,
the salary
clearly it wasn't
cap.
under the
well,
table.
you know,
Should have been more under.
maybe they accounted for it. You
But
know,
end of the
maybe they
day,
found
that's a
out.
premiership getting taken off those boys,
that's
and
no
2
good, is it?
matches
That's
this
rough.
year with no.
That's
points.
rough. Your boy Sammy Flanders, Corey, I believe he played first footy against the Dons.
He did. Look, he 11 disposals. He was only on the ground for 63% of the game. He went a
Did they
little.
sub him? Or was that?
No,
he was just on the bench.
He didn't
a fair
get. He
bit?
didn't get subbed off. He was just on the bench a bit. He just wasn't in it. He was trying to play that supporting role
Should have a
again.
chat to him.
but they
we
weren't
will.
winning the ball at the contest.
They
and
weren't.
yeah.
They weren't winning the ball at the contest. The Dons were just running through that midfield. So that supporting role that he has been playing just didn't exist.
Yep.
So he was just in no man's land.
Yep.
And
Did he kick a goal?
He did not. He did not get any
Oh,
goals.
it's rough.
He just doesn't have yet. He doesn't yet have that pressure on the ball or the defensive pressure to fully encompass that midfield role. I
It's-
think he's getting there. He's
Yeah.
getting there, and perhaps this game will be a bit of a learning curve
Who
for him.
I forget who they've got next week. We'll go that with the tips and we'll see how they go.
I
but
believe they have the Cats.
I think it is the Cats at
Yeah.
Metricon, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, huge. That's a
It's
huge game.
It's huge. And if they do lose to the Cats, then perhaps that will be another good chance for Sammy to see how it's done through
Yeah.
the midfield.
Yes. Yes.
But Sammy, we love you. He's front and center.
Absolutely, Sammy.
better luck
Nothing
next
but
week.
love. My boy has been in the news. It has
He
been
has. He has. He got.
the first time I've seen the name Patrick Parnell. Have a look at my beautiful son. He's something bad's happened. Something bad's happened, boys.
Yeah, he lost consciousness,
Let
didn't
me
he?
paint you a
He was
picture.
poleaxed.
Let me paint you a picture of what happened here. So, Paddy Parnell's got the ball. I thought he was dropped from the team. I didn't realise he was in the game until this moment
Nor
because
did I.
he was listed as an emergency. And then I missed the opening bit of the first quarter. So there must have been a laid out that I missed. And then he hadn't touched it yet, as is, Paddy Parnell likes to start slow. He likes to work his way in and get 5 touches in the third, and then he's on from there. So I believe this was one of his first touches. He gets the ball on the boundary line,
Right on the boundary
and
line.
Nathan Broad, he's wrapped him up. He's wrapped him up in a tackle, and it's one of those moments where
It was like judo.
the tackle's
I think
the
Jared
tackle's
would
across
call
the
it a
line. Like he's
hospital
already
tackle.
got him across the boundary line.
Yep.
And usually you just do a little bit of a wrestle on the
Yeah,
feet
and push off.
and it's all right, okay, off
Yep.
you go, and then you let go of him.
Yep.
But Patrick Parnell, my beautiful son,
Beautiful
he's
young
across
boy.
the line, and Nathan Broad has decided to go the second motion of slinging him to the ground after he's got his arms
around
pinned.
the body.
After he's got the arms pinged,
He's used his body as a fulcrum.
and he's fucking buried him into the turf.
KO'd.
Head slams onto the deck, knocked out, completely out cold, concussed,
Our poor son.
and he was subbed out. It was hard to watch.
It
I
was.
got
It
to
was
tell you,
very brutal.
Have you
he was
have you
fucked.
messaged Broad?
I haven't messaged Broad. I haven't messaged
Should we
him.
message Broad?
If you want to catch these hands, Nathan, I'm free.
The next time you're in Perth,
if
mate.
I was at that
next time
game,
you're in
if I
Perth.
was at that game, there would have been a spray given from the stands. He's been given 4 weeks. He's going to take his medicine. I think it's an adequate penalty. I would have preferred 12,
Yeah,
but we will take the
yeah,
4.
hey,
Robbo would have
You
preferred
hate to
8.
see that motion where he had a hold of him. He then braced and then sprung him over his hips
Yeah.
and drove him into the
Head
ground.
first.
It's a full-on
Head first.
judo move.
And it looks worse because Patrick Parnell is so cute.
He's very small.
Because
boy.
he's so cute and he's
such
just a boy.
He's such a boy.
Yeah, that I think is one more week, just because you've
Just
ruined
because
his
he's a
beautiful
boy.
face. He got up off the deck and there was you could see the bruise on his face, like it was fucked. So, according to the Adelaide injury update I read today, he's okay, like he's doing okay.
Yeah,
he's going through concussion protocols.
Yeah, I read he's okay, but
So
it's
he
just
could
rattled him.
get up for the next game, but we don't want to be pushing him.
He won't
if
be
he's-
playing next game.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
concussed.
they said, maybe he'll miss the next game and play the next one.
Yeah.
Maybe. Either way, Shouts out, Paddy. It's a tough thing to deal with. It was a dog act. I'll say that. It was a dog act.
4 weeks. 4 weeks.
4 weeks. 4 weeks is adequate. Next up, after the Adopt Your Boy segment, we're going to go with another reading from this beautiful book, Time and Space, by the great James Coventry.
This book is very interesting.
It is very interesting. And here's a little bit.
The group chat has been flooded with passages from this, and
I've just been
I'm
constantly
loving
taking things. So
all of it.
here's a little bit about Foz Williams. So to paint a picture of Foz Williams, he's the first guy ever to be inducted into the South Australian Football Hall of Fame, if I remember correctly. He was the coach. And he was a player for the Port Adelaide Magpies in the Sandful in the 50s and the 60s.
What jersey did they wear?
Oh, I don't know if it was Prison Bars at this time.
I've never heard of what jersey.
Here we go. As the league's finest rover, Williams was also a fixture in the interstate arena. He had a strong admiration for Victoria's powerful style of play, which he felt should be emulated rather than feared. So to paint the picture of where they're at in this book, the Victorians... there's two different game styles that are developing.
The
One
old
in
school and the
Victoria,
new school.
Old school and new school. The South Australians were actually quite ahead of their time. They were very clean in the flick passing that they were doing and the technique they were using. Whereas Victorians, kick it long, kick it down the middle, and punch a bloke in the head. That was really the strategy, and it was effective. Even when they versed the South Australian teams, the Saffers, as I will call them, not white South Africans, the South Australians, were too soft. They were too soft.
Referring to
Quote
South
from
Australians.
Foz. From the moment I first played state football in 1947, I sensed South Australians had an inferiority complex, he said. But I've always felt, talent-wise, we're equally as good as the Victorians. It's just a matter of confidence and being first to the ball. The principle of going in first and hardest was still something of a foreign concept in the Sandful, largely thanks to the legacy of its old kicking in the ruck rule. Meaning, are you trying to put a filter on my voice or have you already done it? It was a mindset Williams was determined to change. He wants to harden these boys up. He wants to get them punching people, kicking people, and tackling. Put your body in with the ball and do not flinch away from the boots as you put your hands on it, he told his players. As a playing coach, it was he who set the tone. And I quote, "If you see him stop, we can all stop," the club's secretary Bob McLean told the rest of the team, knowing full well that would never happen. Williams summarised his game plan as taking the minimum approach to goal with the maximum body power. In contrast to the wide ball movement of Geelong, Williams demanded his side always take the shortest route between 2 points.
I love it.
So this was the pinnacle of tactics in regards to these coaches.
And what year?
This would have been the mid-50s. This would have been the mid-50s.
Yep.
So they're thinking that these short kicks and run and carry is never going to catch on. Why would you not just kick it up the middle? And
It seems like the
How
most
wrong could they
effective
be?
way.
it was working.
What was the easiest way to get to goal?
You kick it down the middle. And then, obviously, teams are not defending with zones. They're going man-on-man defense, and everyone's just going to try and get under the ball, and it's going to be a shit show. Why not kick it long and see what happens?
Yeah.
And then just back yourself in physically. Where were we? Here's if you've got the filter on my voice, we can do the... we had a theory that we'd go down the corridor, as they call it now, or the direct route to goals, said former Captain Jeff Motley. We'd kick it long, particularly coming out of defence, and we worked on a lot more fitness so we could get more to the fall of the ball. There was no room for niceties or refinements. When a player won possession, he would hurriedly launch it towards another contest with scarcely any thought of placing it to the advantage of a teammate.
So there would have been a lot of players in playing in a game where this is happening going, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Why aren't they playing like men?
Yeah, and then the South Australian people try to make the game a bit more skillful, and they had something in South Australia called the flick pass. There's no video evidence of this, I don't think, but it was basically a little throw that they disguised as a hand pass, and they were utilising this in South Australia.
That kind of came back in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I think a few of the Cats were doing it, especially Selwood.
Well, there's a fine line between
that's
hand
because the
passing and throwing
umpires
now.
don't
even our
ping
Lord
Selwood.
and Savior, even our Lord and Savior Scott Pendlebury has
He
been
likes to
quite
disguise a throw.
guilty
Yeah.
of disguising a throw.
But if you've got your fist in the correct motion, like
Then
this,
you can't call
I
it.
think the South Australians were catching on to that in the 50s, that you could do this if you
Yeah.
had your hands swinging. Port Adelaide's strategy was so successful that the very idea of passing soon became passé. When West Adelaide lost to the Magpies in the 1954 grand final, they were criticised for trying to be too precise. Get the voice filter on. They foot-passed and handballed to teammates without opposition and perhaps may have overdone it on occasions, said the Sunday Mail. Port did not fall into that error and on occasions when they were in possession, drove in deeply with long kicks. An even clearer indication of their style emerges in the statistics from the following season's 63-point grand final win against Norwood. So they belted Norwood in the final by just kicking it long down the guts. The Magpies compiled 264 kicks, 14 handballs. 14 and just 5 foot passes, meaning you kicked it to someone intentionally. Albeit in the wet and windy weather, it wasn't an impressive grand final, but then the conditions weren't in favour of good football, said Ron Barassi, who was there in his Melbourne teammates a fortnight after winning the first VFL premiership under Norm Smith as coach. There were too many fumbled chest marks and missed kicks, and these errors spoil any game. So that's an insight. We're going to keep coming back to this book. But that's the Port Adelaide of the 1950s turning into the 1960s. How good. How fucking good.
Love it. Smack it up.
Smack it up. And now you can see that now when teams have no idea what else to do. But it's down the line.
It's
Sorry, I
down
just
the
hit my
line.
mic. It's down the line when they don't know. It's safe. It's the safe exit. Whereas back then, it was the corridor. You just belt it. Next up, we've got another flagship segment. It is Joel okay? And Joel, I have a feeling you're going to be a little bit aroused with how things have gone in the past week.
He looks happy.
Remember when Kane said Saints would only win 2
You're not going
games?
to take another shot at Kane, are you?
So,
No,
no, he's
this is valid.
entitled to take this shot.
Kane Corn said at the start of the year, up to round, I think it was what, 5 or 8. It was
I
one
think
of the
he
two.
said, let's say 6. Let's say, I
it might
forget
have
what he
been
said.
the
7.
Saints would
It
be
might have been
lucky
7.
to get 2 wins. Well, hey, Kane,
2-0.
we're looking pretty good.
They're 2-0, Kano. They are 2-0. What
Against-
did you were at the game? What
So
did
I was
you?
at week 1,
Yeah.
wasn't at the second game.
Oh yeah. Sorry. What did you like about this week's game, the round 2 one?
Oh, look, besides finishing that festival and then walking out and then seeing the score, fuck, it was good.
Did you watch the replay at all, or
Oh,
did you watch? Yeah.
3 times.
Yeah.
But look,
Furiously stroking.
He's watching it right now under the table.
yeah, massive stiffy. But in all seriousness,
Well, it's a little one.
Yeah,
I'll
talk
just-
us through it.
look, you had the 3 boys, Gresh, Cordy, and Caminiti. Did you really think they would be scoring 2 goals each?
No, I really didn't.
And then
I
you
really
go
didn't.
Philippou
I've heard of one of them.
and Owens.
Yep.
3 goals each.
Machito, I've put him into my fantasy team this week. Machito.
But he just runs. They all put effort in. What they're doing on the track, they're doing
Yeah.
in games.
they are
They're
putting
giving
in,
effort all game. That's the thing.
They are clearly putting in a lot of effort,
Yep.
but I think at least half of the credit has to go to old Ross the Buck.
It has
Well,
to
no,
go to Ross.
not just Ross. You're forgetting you've got Rob Harvey
Lenny
Yes,
Hayes.
of course, yeah,
and
yeah,
Corey
yeah.
Enright.
Yep.
Yes.
And now we're coming up to 150 years celebration.
Yep.
This
Big
week.
week. Big
Big
week.
week
Who have
for
they
the
got
club.
this week?
The Bombers.
Oh, huge. Saints, that's right. It's the
Yes.
meme bowl.
See, that'd
it's
be-
Saints
it
versus
is a meme
Essington.
bowl, isn't
And
it?
we
Saints
don't
and
go well
Essington.
in these
Yeah.
type of games. Like,
Yeah.
as a general rule of
You
thumb.
don't go well in many
No.
games.
In general, anything with like meaning, we fuck up.
Yeah. So it'll be a huge indicator of where the Saints are at if they win this and comfortably, I
I
think.
think so as well.
It could realistically be
But
that.
I'm gonna.
Collingwood and
So
Saints.
the answer to is Joel okay is he's flying, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? Fair play. Fair play. The Saints are on.
We're a top 4 chance now.
I was just about to get to this. The prediction of the ladder. You've said 8th every week. Are you now saying top 4 chance?
Yep.
Top 4 chance. He's calling it now. Was that a siren? I can't hear it. I have
Top
no headphones.
4.
Top 4. He's called it.
Wow, that's
and you know
huge.
what? Like, I'd be calling it as well.
And you know what
I'm
it
not
comes
gonna.
down to?
I'm not gonna predict that. I don't think Saints will make top 4. But if I was a Saints fan, I'd be calling.
The
top
one thing
4.
it comes down to is we empty the tank at the end of every game. Every player has emptied their tank.
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
And if we could do that for the rest of the year, there's no reason we can't be top
There's
four.
been a few incidences of the past 2 weeks of players clearly not putting everything in it from various teams, and it cannot be said that anyone from the Saints is in that group.
There was a good bit of vision.
That's all we can
on,
ask from the players.
Shout out to First Crack with the tactical analysis from David King and Joey Montagna. The Saints are playing to, I would say strengths, but it's their lack of height that they're playing to at the moment. They are without a serious tall target. They've lost King, they've lost Membry, and they've lost Hayes, who were going to be their three
And
key
Cooper
tools.
Sharman, who everyone thought would be in the team,
Absolutely.
is being played in the twos. And that comes down to effort, I think.
So now
Has he got the tank?
they're relying on guys like Butler, Mitch Owens, Gresham, and all of these smaller forwards, and they showed a
Philippou.
really good bit of
Philippou's
vision.
in his second
Philippou
game.
as well. They're showing
Caminiti played what?
the Hammer Caminiti.
One trial match, gets put on the list, and now is what? A key part of the team.
Yeah, it looked awesome. But the way that they're doing it is well coached to leave the space in the 50, to leave space for these small forwards to run onto. And it's so clear that they're drawing the defenders out of that zone. And it's just good coaching from Ross the Boss.
But if
Like,
we're
it's
going to kick
really
90
good.
points,
Yeah,
It is.
we're
very good
happy with that.
coaching.
Plus, let's be honest, the only time the Bulldogs kicked anything was a 12-minute patch where
It'll
they kicked
be-
4 of their 5 goals.
And then they responded. They
It'll be-
responded and
Yeah.
stopped it.
It will be quite scary when the Saints do get their entire forward line back.
Yeah.
well, now we
I-
know not to go to max. Like
if
we've got
if
options.
they beat Essendon by a comfortable margin this week, like say they win by like 30 points,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be scared of them.
Well,
I will
we
actually
play
be
Collingwood
scared
in
of
round
them.
5.
Yeah,
and
that's
if
what
we
I mean.
are undefeated when it
I
comes
will
to
actually
that.
be scared if they're. If we lose to Saints, I don't know what to
No,
do
but
with
it could be a
myself.
really
I
good
I
game.
don't know what to do with myself.
If Collingwood loses to the Saints, we won't be talking about it.
Oh, we will.
We won't do
we
an
won't-
episode
we
that
won't
week.
put an episode
We won't
out.
put an episode out.
Me and Ben will fall.
We'll go
ill.
off the grid. We'll
get
fly
COVID.
to
I'll do it on my
Vegas
own,
and
that's
then
all
just
right.
forget
We'll
AFL
get COVID
exists.
and Joel.
Just one
yeah,
week
yeah,
of
no, we got
jerking off.
COVID.
Joel will just have to put out a press release.
Jacking off the Saints for a whole episode.
My fellow Americans, I did not. All right, next up, we've got other sports news because we found ourselves running well for time here. You wanted to talk about the F1, Cos,
Yes.
as you do every Grand Prix.
It's been a week off this week, but this
and
weekend...
this is often me going, what the fuck are you talking about
Well,
for
this
these?
week, it is the Melbourne GP.
Is it coming up this week?
Yeah, this weekend.
Okay, all right.
And Melbourne's always pretty exciting. It's a great track, medium to high downforce track, which what that means is a lot of the mid teams are going to be a bit closer in.
Okay.
Red Bull's probably going to be out in front, but it's going to favour the Aston Martins because they have been doing very well.
gonna be
on
a very
tyre
fast race ahead.
degradation.
Yeah.
It's quite a fast race. They've added another DRS zone from previous years.
What's DRS?
DRS is when, if you're watching F1, there's certain parts of the track where if you're within a second of the car in front of you, your rear spoiler has a flap that opens up. It's the drag reduction or downforce reduction system. So you get an extra 7 or 8 kilometers an hour. So by the end of the straight, you can have a crack at overtaking.
Wow. Okay.
So they've added another zone. There's now 4 zones, I believe. 3 zones. I think there's 3 zones.
Yep.
So it will be very interesting. McLaren, our boy, the pastry chef, Oscar Piastri,
Yes.
had an absolute meh last
Did he crash?
GP. He didn't crash, but him and Lando Norris started at the back of the grid, and they ended up coming 15th and
Yep.
16th.
Yeah.
Not good. McLaren's doing very badly, but we'll see if they can improve.
Okay. All
There's
right.
some interesting
if you were
developments.
to make a pick for the race, who's gonna win? Who's gonna
I'd
win?
like Nando to do it.
Nando.
I'd
Yeah.
like Nando to do it, but in reality,
car's the problem.
In reality, it most likely will be Verstappen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there is some interesting developments with Perez and Verstappen at Red Bull. Perez obviously won the last race.
Yeah.
But there's been some infighting within Red Bull because Verstappen is very clearly the number 1 driver.
Of course.
And Perez the last 2 years, has played the number 2 pretty well and always adhered to the company line. But Perez was winning the race last GP, came down to the last 2 races, and over the team radio, they were saying, keep your lap time to 1:36.
What the
And
fuck?
he was like, well, what's Max's fastest time? And they were like, he's on 1:35.4. And he's like, well, why are you telling me to restrict to 1:36?
He was not
So
happy
he's
with
going
that.
off at the team on the
Because
radio.
You get an extra point if you get the fastest lap of the race.
Okay.
So they wanted Verstappen to get that point.
Yeah,
Even though Perez has won the GP, they wanted Verstappen to have that extra point,
Okay.
and he was like, no, I'm going to go as fast as I can because
Yeah, absolutely. I'm winning.
Point.
Yeah.
And did he?
He didn't,
God, this all confuses the fuck out of
he
me.
didn't get the fastest lap, but he tried.
Yeah, okay.
He went against the orders, but
Yeah.
he didn't get the fastest
Well, he
lap.
won the race, didn't he?
He did win the
Fucking
race.
good on him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
all right. Well,
But it's significant.
you've been-
The reason it's significant is because Red Bull is far and away the best team at the moment.
Yeah.
And that number 2 seat is the most coveted seat. And you've
Yeah.
got Danny Rick in the 3rd seat
Yes.
and a whole bunch of other drivers that would love Perez's seat. So, I mean, they are dominating the... They're almost certainly
But
going to win
could Perez get so
constructors.
pissed off that he wants to go somewhere else?
Well, he'll either get... It's looking like he'll either get sacked or want to go somewhere else to be the
Fucking
number
hell.
one
'Cause
driver.
because anyone
Yeah,
else would
okay,
take
yeah,
him.
yeah,
Yeah,
Every
'cause
other
there's-
team will take
being the
him.
number 1 driver and being the number 2 driver is a world of difference when you're in one of those
Sure.
top 3 or 4 teams.
Yeah. So, Joel, you've been perving on some beach volleyball chicks, haven't you, for other sporting
Oh,
news?
look, I really do care about the beach volleyball.
Do you really care
you
about
don't.
the beach volleyball?
I
don't.
really
you?
do.
No, you don't.
But the 2 Aussie girls, Maria Faye, I'm going to butcher this name.
He doesn't even know their names.
Del
He
Solar.
doesn't even know
No,
their
no,
names.
you try read this name out and
Okay,
you would
all
butcher
right,
it as
Joel.
well.
Okay, yeah, try.
Which one's got the better ass?
Maria Faye.
Yeah, there you go. So you know that. You know
And Clancy as well, her
I'm
partner.
sure. I've
Hey, they're second in the world on the world rankings.
okay,
good.
yeah,
They're doing
good for
great.
them.
Pretty
I'm
good.
sure they're both
Pretty good.
strong, independent women who
Oh,
don't need no man.
No, they're very good at what they do.
Yes.
Lionel Messi.
Yeah, I could talk about Messi. This is a sport I do know about. Okay, so you're saying that I didn't know about this until you told me. The MLS, sorry, I'm tapping the thing. The MLS, the Americans, Major League Soccer, are trying to make a bid for Lionel Messi to
Well,
come
not
to their
just
league.
make a bid. They want all 29 teams in that league to pay for him.
This is not going to happen.
Well, it would.
Well,
I'm telling you,
I
it
want to see how
it
this
would
plays
benefit
out.
them all.
It would better. Of
But
course
then
it would.
what happens? Who pays the most?
Let me tell you
Who
right
does he
now.
play for?
Leo
I
Messi.
guess-
So for context,
huge
Leo
where
Messi
he
at the moment
goes.
plays for Paris Saint-Germain in the French league.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the French league, even though it is a top-tier European league, it's a farmers' league. PSG win every year, especially now that they have Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe as their front 3.
Oh, 100%.
It's fucked. Their team is so good. If they were to lose their league
So
title,
question: what's the point?
the point
If you throw that much money into your team and you're winning against teams that don't have as much money, what's the fucking point of
to
playing?
just keep winning,
What's
to
but
keep
what's
winning.
the point? If
Well-
you know that the team that has those
Well, it's
players,
always been the problem with soccer. If you look at the EPL as well, it's always a group of teams. that-
Well,
point?
the only
I don't understand what the point is.
the only other I must say I don't follow the French league avidly. The last time I watched a League One game, which is what you call the French league, League One. Oh, it would have been
Liga One?
Ligue 1. Would have been years ago. But I do know
Linguini
that they
one, if
have
you
our
will.
boy Will Still, who is the
Still
guy.
Will?
He's a manager
I love this guy.
of I think it's Stade Rennais or a team like this.
Still Will
He
or
manages
Will
a
Still?
top tier French team in League One. He is not a professional manager. He's never
No.
played football.
No.
His experience and what got him into managing football was playing Football Manager on the PC.
Yeah.
And he is now
Fantastic.
managing a
That's
top
insane.
flight French team
Fantastic.
and winning games.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't have a license to manage. So
yeah, so
they
they're
have
having to pay a
25
fine
grand
of 25,000 euros
every
each game
game.
because Will
and
does
they,
it
and
isn't
they don't
licensed.
care because he keeps winning.
He keeps winning. He keeps winning this guy.
So what
From
you're
playing
saying is-
video games. This is the dream, boys.
we could
This
also
is
be
the
footy
dream.
coaches because we play AFL fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's
Yes.
actually a game that I've downloaded off Steam. It was about $13. It's called Australian football coach or something like that, and it's a
I'm gonna get it.
It's a
I'll
football
verse
manager
you.
clone.
I'll verse you.
I haven't played it yet, but I've downloaded it. And I might be
it's gonna
doing
be
this on
hot
Twitch.
garbage.
So if you want to watch it, follow
gonna
BENRY
be-
in the booth on Twitch. I
gonna
might be
be hot
streaming this.
garbage.
But yeah,
AFL Live 23 coming out very
yes,
soon. So
we'll
have
be.
some-
I think we'll be doing some
we'll have
streams
some
on
Twitch
that.
streams
We'll
of
be
that.
doing some streams on.
And we've also
I must
got the
say I know I've been giving shit to this game. I'm saying it's going to be shit. It's going to look shit.
That'd
They're
be
all
great.
shit.
It'll be great.
From the event footage that I saw of players and content creators playing the game,
Yeah, it
looks
looks
actually
good.
much better.
Yeah,
it looks
good.
it looks much
It
better.
at least looks a lot better than previous iterations.
Much better.
Yeah,
much better.
I'll be getting it day one, 100%.
Yes. Have we got any other sporting news, boys?
The World Baseball Classic wrapped up. I was following it a little bit, especially with Australia doing quite fucking well,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
I think we beat America at one fucking point, which
Get
was,
out.
which
We
was
did
crazy. I think pretty sure we did.
Wow.
It got wrapped up with Japan winning, and it was in Japan, so you love to see it.
Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani.
What a king.
It was Japan versus USA in the final, and to win the game, Shohei Ohtani, who is the best baseball player
In the
on
world.
the planet,
Yes.
he struck out possibly the second greatest baseball
Trout?
player, Mike Trout,
Yeah.
struck him out to win the game.
Yeah, that's awesome. And they play for the same
and they're
team too.
teammates for the LA Angels as well,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Awesome.
So for anyone that is not familiar with baseball, Shohei Ohtani is the first player in 100 years that is a full-time batter and a
And pitcher.
full-time pitcher. So
and he's fucking good at both of them.
He's the best at
Yeah.
both of them.
He's the best at baseball.
He is phenomenally good.
Yep.
And Mike Trout is one of the best batters that's ever lived as
Yeah.
well.
Yes.
Phenomenal to see it come down to that.
Yeah, I wish I'd watched the game now that you're talking about this. It sounds
And
awesome.
The whole series was actually quite good because, I mean, Major League Baseball, I've been getting into it a bit the past
yeah,
few years.
me too.
But
Go Padres.
It can be very stale. And the reason it's stale is because there's a lot of unwritten rules in the American League. For instance, like you're not allowed, the blowouts aren't allowed. If you're winning by a certain amount in the seventh inning, it's
Mercy
bad,
rule.
It's bad sportsmanship. That you can't celebrate home runs too much. You can't
Yeah.
throw your bat. There's a lot of things you can't do. The World Baseball Classic, it was just everyone having a great fucking time.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
It was all just good looks. Everyone just having a great time. The crowds were incredible.
The stadiums look.
The stadiums were
Hype
phenomenal.
as
I don't
fuck.
think, I
It
don't
looked
think
great.
people realize how big baseball is in Japan.
They love it.
It
They love it.
is-
You know what
It's
else
the
is
number
big in
one
Japan?
sport.
It is
But they
massive.
love baseball. They love Pokemon. They love pro wrestling. Those are the
Talking
things
about
they fucking
wrestling,
love.
WrestleMania this weekend.
WrestleMania
It
is
is.
this Monday. is
Sunday
it? It's
and Monday. It's over 2 nights.
Oh yeah, they've done a two-nighter.
2 nights?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
so I will be watching that.
Friend of the show,
I'll be
Monty,
watching
will
that.
be on that.
Oh,
Like a
absolutely.
bloody fly on shit.
I think we can go to the.
I got one more.
Oh, you got one
I've got
more. You got one more. Yeah, go on.
Um,
Go on.
Some of the any listeners over the age of about 30 will remember Slam Ball.
Oh,
From
God.
the,
Oh, yeah.
the MTV
So not me.
generation.
Yeah.
The early 2000s, there was a sport.
Basketball
called-
on
It was
trampolines.
trampolines and basketball hoops. It was a recipe for ACL disasters.
Yeah.
Many NBA washouts joined it and broke their knees.
Yeah.
At a rapid rate. It didn't last very long because
Yeah.
it's absolutely
It's ridiculous.
absurd.
It's so dumb.
It's back. Slam Ball is back.
It's back, baby.
They've been accruing investors, and it's back for a 6-week series. And
I would actually kill to like commentate a game of slam ball.
It is truly the most absurd sport ever created.
Oh, I can give you a more absurd one. Have you seen the slap league that the UFC has now?
That's died out very fast.
Yeah, well, that's still going, but it's
people
there.
have lost interest
Yeah,
very
it's-
quickly. There's ethical dilemmas
So
going on with that.
the UFC has started a slap fight league.
Yes.
Where it's basically me and Corey would like stand across from each other. There's like a
Slap.
pedestal in the middle of between
Yeah.
us, and you take turns
it was an internet phenomenon.
winding up and slapping
It was
each
an
other.
internet phenomenon that became viral, and then
Yeah.
Dana White invested a whole bunch
and
of
then
money.
paid the people $2,000
Yeah,
to get
it's bad.
CTE for the
Yeah,
rest
they-
of their
they all-
lives.
They just get concussed
Yeah.
every time. It's
It is
bad.
awful.
It's
It
very
is
bad.
awful. So Slam ball is the basketball equivalent of the slap league.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's not great.
It's not great.
It's interesting to look at for about 30 seconds. Like, oh wow,
Yeah.
that's cool.
And then you go a minute and you're like, oh, this is really depressing.
This is bad.
This is really bad.
This is bad.
All right, next up we've got the mailbag, Joel's mailbag segment. Have you got?
Did we do the tips?
We're doing that last.
Okay,
Corey.
we're
We're
doing
doing
that
that
last.
last. Joel's mailbag. Fire some questions at us, buddy. Thank you for the people who have sent in to the Instagram, to the TikTok, and to the Facebook DMs. You know who you are. We are very grateful. All right, Joel, what have we got?
Alrighty, so we got the mailbag here. Have we got music for this yet?
Not yet. Oh, we could go.
I'll
It's
make up-
Joel's
I'll make up
mailbag.
I'll make
There
up
we
a
go.
sting tonight.
I downloaded some software that I can record music on, but I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah,
but now I'm unemployed for 2 weeks, so I can probably do that. I could probably do a
also,
jingle.
Congratulations on the new job.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
Yes. Thank you very much. Yes. I've got 2 weeks until then, so it's a lot of golf.
Alrighty, so worst trim in the league.
Worst trim? Good question.
trim? What
So
does that
worst
mean?
haircut.
Haircut.
Oh, okay.
There's
well,
one
Clayton-
Clayton
standout.
Oliver is
Clayton Oliver,
Yeah,
yeah.
Clayton Oliver.
Terrible.
100% Clayton Oliver. Or
It's two bad haircuts mixed into one, and I am the
Clayton's
I'm
is
the
so
proud wearer
accept-
of a bad haircut.
yeah, like
so. And for,
yeah,
so
but
for-
you're owning it. Clayton doesn't know what he wants to do with it.
No,
Like
it's very
even
bad.
I can understand when he's on the field and it gets, disrupted.
Mm.
But even at like the red carpet events like the Brownlow, his hair is shit, man.
Yeah.
Like it's
I mean,
not Clayton, you've
his
got to
face-
sort it out.
His face
Shorten
doesn't
it.
help.
It's too long up the top, and it's just like a bird's nest. You've got to go observe. Like you look at my hair here. Decide
You're
on
probably
your
ready for a
direction.
haircut yourself.
I am. It is too long. I need to do it. But even then, this is me managing long hair. Look at the side sweep, Corey. Look at the side sweep. Is it not meticulous?
It's good.
This is after a round of golf as well.
Yeah, I mean,
this is after a
I
round
play
of golf.
golf as well. My hair's fine.
But if I was Clayton Oliver right now, this would be a chaotic clusterfuck. Joel, who have you got? Who's your worst trim in the league?
Oliver, by
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, it's
We've
It's
really
unanimous.
rinsed him here.
It's
We've
not
really
great.
rinsed him. Clayton,
Well,
I
his
think
hair-
you're going to win the Brownlow. I'm just
His
going to
hair
say
was
that.
bad last year, and he's come out this year, and
Worse.
it's just far
It's
worse.
worse.
It's far worse.
Answer is Oliver. Great question. Next up in the mailbag.
Alrighty, so we've seen Essendon have 2 wins in a row now. How many people are out there with the new tattoo? In
Oh,
particular,
people going Flag Don's tat?
Flag
Oh,
Don's tat.
there'd have to be some. And also, like, I think the Bombers, branding lends itself to a tattoo. You get the plane. You get the little plane
Yeah,
tattoo.
but you also,
yeah, with like a banner at the back.
but if you get the logo, you can't cover it up because it's a big black and red.
Have you seen
Yeah.
people do that where they've got like a Premier's tat and they've clearly fucked up?
Because
I've seen it before, it's great.
If I was a
Ones.
Dons fan, I'd get the little mosquito boy
Yeah, the
tagged on.
mosquito's good.
I love the
I'm
mosquito
surprised they
mascot.
don't use the mosquito more because it's very good.
Yeah, it's a sexy mascot.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I like
the
the
answer is
mosquito.
I don't know how many guys are getting premiership tats, but I think it's side like
Would you ever get a Collingwood tattoo?
if we okay.
I almost did.
This
I
year,
almost did.
Okay, let me say this right now. This year,
Yep.
if we get into the grand final,
Yeah.
you and me are going,
Yeah, we'll get a tattoo.
and if we win,
Yeah.
we'll get
Yeah,
tattoos.
I'm happy with
Are
that.
we? Are we
Yeah,
doing
I'm
that
happy with
right
that.
now? Let's do it. Let's do it. Me and Corey will get flag
Yeah,
pies
hell yeah.
tattoos
What
if
about
we
me?
win the flag. Saints aren't going to win the flag,
Saints
Joel.
are not going to
Saints are not going to win the
get
flag.
into the grand final.
Well,
Not
I'm
gonna win
telling
it.
you,
I can't wait
right
to
now.
come back to this episode.
Not a chance. It's looking like it's going to be Collingwood Sydney at this point.
That is my tip too. Next up in the mailbag.
Eamon coming in with G's. There are some good boys in that St Kilda team.
That's not a question.
That's not
But-
a question.
That's not a
at all.
question.
It was sent
Next,
into the
Joel.
mailbag.
Next.
Thank you, Eamon, for
Thank you, Eamon.
for pumping Joel's little thing.
Yeah. How many weeks to go until Joel's no longer okay? Well, right
Well,
now.
okay, you run us through.
We made the segment hoping it would be week 1.
Run us through.
It's
Yeah,
really
that's
fucked
true.
you guys up,
That was
hasn't
the
it?
intent. Was to rinse him week in week out. Who have you got in the next 4 weeks, Joel?
It'll be the
Who-
Collingwood game in round 5. That is the real
That's
test.
when you're not going to be okay because
Well-
we're gonna win that.
Imagine if we do beat you Just imagine.
Yeah, but you won't.
Hey,
we're
just-
gonna,
hey,
we're
just
gonna
You
come
won't.
down on
Tickle
you.
me
like-
for a bit.
You won't.
We're gonna come down on you like a stack of shit.
Yeah, it's going to be ugly.
But it's
going to
okay.
be very
you
ugly.
You can be okay for the whole season, and when we get to finals and you come ninth, that's when this segment will really come into its own.
This is completely fucked up.
Made my mistakes. What's next?
I
in the
just love how
mailbag?
this segment.
Thank you. Well, I'm all right. Yeah. What's next in the mailbag, Joel?
Would you rather fight one Joel-sized duck or 1,000 duck-sized Joels?
One Joel
Just for
size
clarity,
duck.
I'm 5
That's
foot
still
two.
not a very big duck, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the one Joel sized duck. But that would fuck me a little bit because like I have a bit of a bird phobia. And yeah, I do. Like ducks, I'm cool with. Like water birds, I'm all right with.
How are you with Joel's?
A Joel-sized duck would
I
fuck
do
me. Like
notice
it
you
would, it
like
would
to
really
have-
fuck me.
You do
Yeah.
like to have one table width apart
Yeah.
from him.
But like, if
why
like,
Corey
I'm not
sits in
good
the
with
middle.
swans, let's say, like swans freak me the fuck out.
Swans are
like,
pretty scary,
Yeah,
and
like
geese.
emus are my number one fear.
I'll take the. I'll take the 1,000 size.
That's a big effort. You've got to punch him a lot. Joel, what would you take? One Joel-sized duck or 1,000
Yeah,
Joels?
one Joel-sized duck because you wouldn't
Yeah.
want 1,000 Joels.
Well, that's an even
hang on.
matchup. That's you
Well,
versus
it's-
yourself.
For you, it's the same size as you, so that actually is quite scary.
But imagine we could pay-per-view that.
In the octagon, you versus a duck that is
Oh,
exactly your size,
I'm
which is
taking
5'2".
me, yeah.
What if it gets a lucky crack and hits one of your eyes?
What about if I get a lucky crack and hit one of its
You
eyes?
got to shoot a double leg. I
Strongly
think you
doubt.
have to shoot a double leg on the duck, get him to ground, and then get into full mount.
Ground
you
and
can't
pound.
take any chances. You have to do it. Have we got any other questions in the mailbag?
Tim Kelly for All Australian? Yes or no?
No. What?
He had a good game, but I'm gonna say no.
No.
Absolutely
Because
not.
you'd have to
not.
put him in the inside
Who's asked
midfield.
that?
You can't do it.
What?
Let's not criticise our
Not
followers.
thank you for the question. What fucking dumb can has asked this?
Thanks for the question. We love your input.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get All Australian. No, I
wouldn't-
don't.
I wouldn't think so.
All right, let's go straight into the tipping. We're going to finish it off with our tips for the round. Joel, have you got the relevant matchups to give to us one by one?
I do. So, straight off the bat, Dogs and Brisbane, the shootout.
Are you going to write these down or should I?
Yeah, I'll write them down.
Yeah, Joel, right. I'm going Brizzy by 25 points.
I'll take Brisbane by 36.
Yeah, we'll just go margin for the first one. Not the rest of
36
them.
was
Just
it?
for the first
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
And look, I'll go Brisbane by 12.
Yep, safe. Nice
I think
and
it'll be a
safe.
shootout between those two.
I think
I think they're
look,
gonna get
I wanted to
fucking
tip
rolled.
Brisbane by more, but I think Dogs are going to respond to how shit they've been.
Yeah, they
must.
tend to.
have to.
They must.
They have
They
to.
must.
All
They
right,
must.
next up.
Pies Richmond.
Pies.
Big game as
Don't
well.
Pies.
It'll be 90,000 there.
It's non-negotiable pies.
Don't think we have to really ask us what's going on there.
Joel,
We need Saints music eventually.
Joel, who are you tipping?
I'll take the Pies, yeah.
Of course he will. Yes.
Hawks North, so down.
North.
Yeah, North.
This
for
will
me.
be a big game. Clarko going up
The
against
Clarko
Mitchell.
Bowl in Tassie.
In Tassie.
In Tassie.
Is this like Star Wars type of thing when you've got like...
whoever loses doesn't get plane tickets home.
Yeah,
they
I'm,
stay-
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go
Tassie.
North. I think North will fuck them up.
That's actually as Gill's last move. He's like, "All right, boys,
Yeah.
I'm leaving after round 5. Whoever loses this game
Can't come
is
back.
the new Tasmanian team."
Yeah, that would be sick. You have to coach the Tasmanian team. That would be sick. So it'd be Sam Mitchell. God, heaven forbid. Joel?
Yeah, I'll go North as
Yeah,
well.
North.
Yeah, all right, so we're all in agreement so far.
GWS Carlton.
Carlton.
You'd have to go Carlton.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah, we're still all in agreement. Surely we're going to disagree at some point. Go on
Saints
next.
Bombers in the 150 game.
Or the Meme Bowl. It's Saints and Essington. I'm going to go
Damn.
with...
God damn it.
I'm going to go St Kilda. I'm going to go St Kilda.
I'm going to go the Bombers.
Oh,
Really?
I'm going to go the Bombers.
Are
Yep.
you high?
No, I'm going to go
Joel?
the Bombers.
Obviously the Saints.
obviously,
Taking the
yes.
Saints.
All right, that's our first disagreement.
Jeez. Port Crows in the showdown.
This is tougher than people would think.
It is tough.
And someone wanted in the mailbag a rundown of this game as well. So we'll
Okay,
give
so
our tips
let's
and
we've
predictions.
got a bit of
can.
time. We're running
We
okay.
can.
I think what's going to happen in this game,
Finlayson in.
Finlayson not going to do shit if he
will?
is in. He's not going to.
He will.
Corey's got him in his fantasy team.
I do have him on my
so
fantasy
he's
team.
really pulling for him. I'm going to tip Crom, and I'll tell you why. I think the Crom have a better midfield. I think the Crom have a better forward line.
They don't have Jason Horn-Francis.
Jason Horn-Francis needs to prove himself. I'm
played
not
one
sold
good
on him
game.
yet. I'm not sold on him yet. And I think the Crom have an equal... Maybe Port have a better forward line. That's it. I'm going with Crom to win the ball at the coalface, pump it into their forwards, and Darcy Fogarty kicks a bag of 6.
For all the reasons
That's what I'm going with.
that you have just said, I'm going with Port.
Oh, you dog. Joel.
I'll take Port as well.
Hey!
All right, I'll die on this hill.
Yeah.
If they don't win this, I'm never tipping him again. Crom, Paddy Parnell owes me this. All right, yeah.
He's
there
not
we
even
go.
going to be playing.
He's not going to be playing.
I know, but he'll be there in spirit. Joel, next game.
The Gary Ablett Cup. So Geelong v the Suns.
Oh, another tough one.
I
I'm
want
going
to pick the
with.
Suns. I want to pick the Suns.
I really
Do it,
want to pick
Corey.
the Suns, but
Do
I
it. Both
don't
of you
think I
should do it.
can. I've already
Please.
picked Crom. I'm going to pick Geelong.
Do it, Corey. Do it. Do it.
Should I
Do it.
do it?
Should you do it? It's up to you. It's up to
Do
you. If you want to
it. Do
go out on a
it.
limb and
All right.
pick
Do
this,
it.
it's at Metricon.
I'll pick the Suns.
Oh, he's done it.
I'll pick the
Oh,
Suns.
yay.
He's only gone and picked the Suns.
pick
It's
the Suns.
huge. All right.
And I'll take Geelong.
Yeah.
They will
Yeah.
win that one quite easy, I think. Melbourne, Sydney. This is a big game.
Hardest to tip of the round.
Whoa.
What is it at the? Is it at the G?
It is at the G.
Then I'm going to go Melbourne. I'm going to go Melbourne. Clayton Oliver to get fucking 35 odd touches. Petrarca to kick 3. I think the midfield will win.
Oh, this is very difficult, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Oh, jeez. Sydney is just going
Ben
so
Brown's
well.
been on too.
He
has
has.
been well and truly
And
on.
I'm not a Ben Brown fan.
I'm a huge
Buddy
Ben Brown
will be
fan.
back.
Buddy will be back.
I might pick Sydney.
Whoa. And Joel?
I will take Melbourne.
Yep. I think Jolie might win this tipping round because he's not gone any upsets. I think you've just picked the betting favourite each time.
Look, I'm going to win this tipping
If the
comp
Crom
overall.
win, I'm going to look like a fucking genius. Oh, well, I think that's it.
No,
I think
Freo
that's-
There's
Eagles.
the Derby.
In the
Oh,
Derby.
yeah, the Derby. Yes,
the
yes, there's
Derby.
one more.
And for
Oh, God.
all our South Australian listeners, the Derby.
Yeah. I will
fucking
be at this
derby.
game. I will be going to this game on Sunday with the lovely Nadia. We bought tickets, even though she's an Eagles member, but it's a Freo home game. We went, let's fucking go. Let's
Yep.
do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to tip Freo. I'm not
Yeah.
confident about it. But if I were to tip the medal winner,
You wouldn't bet on it, put it that way.
I'm actually going to tip Hayden Young for the Ross Glendinning medal as well. I'll give that a bonus tip in there as well.
Should we chuck in a medalist?
Do a medal tip for Showdown
Yeah.
as well. We do a Showdown medalist as well.
I will tip Freo.
Yep.
Jeez, who should I... Come back to me for the medal. Who's your tip, Joel?
Yeah, go Joel.
Look, I'll take Freo. Yep.
Yep.
And the
We're
medal,
all tipping Freo.
Luke Ryan.
Yeah, I like it. I like
Yeah,
it. Corey, who you going?
that's strong. I'll take Brennan Cox.
Yeah, dude, love it. And the Showdown medal, I'm going to go Big Darcy Fogarty.
Darcy Fogarty.
Yep.
Okay.
The Fog.
Jeez. Well, I tipped Port, so I can't pick anyone from the Crows, can I?
You got to pick a Port player.
God.
Logic would
Damn it.
think that you've got to pick a Port player.
Oh, shit.
The pressure's on. You've
I
got to
don't
pick a
know.
player.
I don't know.
Just name anyone.
Finlayson.
Oh, no. Joel, Showdown medalist.
Jason Horn-Francis. He's
Yeah.
going to shine.
That's
Look,
strong.
that'll
Strong
do it
pick.
for this week. Barely touched him. Episode 6 is in the books. We will see you next week.